Let me, first of all, say a big thank you and appreciation to the nurses and the doctors who work in this facility and those of them who work in the health services in St. Lucia. Let me thank them. These days, they are under proxy pressure. But let me assure them that the government knows that they are trying their best. They are trying their best for the people of St. Lucia, not for politicians, for the people of St. Lucia, because they've taken an oath to serve people. And anytime you go to a facility and those a doctor deals with you, they see you as a person, not as a politician or a person. And I want to thank them for that. And I think they deserve a round of applause. I understand the power, and I always say to my colleagues, I have some relatives of mine who are doctors, and I always say to them, I take no chances with doctors. I raise my hand in utter submission because of the power that I know they have. Anyhow, I want to thank them again. Let me recognize my colleagues in the cabinet, the Minister for Health, the parliamentary representative, Rosalie. Sometimes I wonder what's happening, Rosalie. I see a massive structure and more work here, Rosalie, something else. The Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Education, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Gender Affairs, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, CMO, DPS, staff, Mayor of Rosalie, staff of the Rosalie Polyclinic. Good morning. The business of sword turning, sometimes it appears to be political gimmicks. You turn the sword and you disappear, and you hope when you come back at some point, you would say you turned the sword. I asked the minister who was the contractor, and I was told it was this gentleman over here. You know, that is how we operate in this government. I did not even know the contractor. I saw a set of documents, I got an evaluation from people who knew about it, and they chose the contractor. So I didn't even know him. I want to tell him that the resources for this expansion are available. You have no problem with resources. There will never be a time when you make a claim, you will not get what you ask for. But please, let us get the facility and the work done on time, and if possible, within budget. We really need this facility. We really need it. The nurses, the doctors have complained that they could do so much with a little more space. They could do so much. They could improve the wealth or the health of the nation by just getting better, more expanded facilities there. And I heard the CMO when she speaks about expansion to 24 hours. I can tell her that Rosalie is happening. Betty Wells, we've asked the engineers to prepare a plan for the use of the old emergency care, to make it a new modern emergency care. And right now it's in the hands of the technicians. They are drawing the plans. As soon as that is over, we've made the money available. The money is available. So as soon as that is over, we'll go there and start immediately. Dennery, I don't know what else we want in Dennery. I understand that we are opening a new health center in Dennery North at the end of February, but I think CMO is speaking about Dennery Hospital. Yes. So what do you need for Dennery Hospital? All right. Let me make a pledge tonight, today, this morning, CMO, that as soon as we leave here, we'll give the instructions for that to happen. So then we have the Soufriere Hospital. I know that I've seen plans for a new Soufriere Hospital. I think that's what you're speaking about, but I'll come back on the Soufriere Hospital. I'll have to find out what's happening. Although in St. Lucia now, I heard there was a big radio show. Should the Prime Minister say, I do not know? I mean, St. Lucia is a fascinating place. The Prime Minister must know everything. So if somebody falls there, and I say to them, I don't know what to do to them, I'm not supposed to say that. Anyway, that's the life we're in. But in Soufriere, I'm sure that there are plans for Soufriere. In Vieux Fort, I know that we just expanded, we just improved the community, the health facility. I don't know what they need for 24 hours. I'm sure the minister would say what he needs for 24 hours, and we will move to see whether we can do that for 24 hours. I'm saying that because I want to tell you how important healthcare is for us, for the government, for the people of St. Lucia. But why should you speak about healthcare? I want to tell people also that they must play their part. They must play their part in seeing about their own health. I remember there was a time a few years ago when personally I changed my diet, and I decided that I was changing my diet, continued being physically fit, etc. And I was ridiculed. I was laughed at, as usual. In politics, it was said that I was dying at some point. All of us will, but mine was predetermined earlier than most people. Just because I decided that I was going to find myself not having a punch, and my shoes fit me properly. Just because of that, I was ridiculed. But I want to say to many people that the non-communicable diseases can be avoided. They can be avoided. Everybody cannot do the same thing, but all of us can see if we can try to improve on our habits, our health habits, what we eat, what we drink, so that we can have better health outcomes. And I'm told that many of the problems, and again, I must say I do not know, many of the problems as they relate to health, particularly in the non-communicable diseases, can be avoided, or they can be treated, or their impact can be lessened. That's what I'm told. The doctors have said so to me. So I want to say, and this is why in this independence, we've used health and wellness as a theme to instill in the people of St. Lucia the need to see about themselves. And talking about seeing about themselves, there's also mental wellness. There seems to be there's too much stress. People worry about too many things and ought not to worry about. All of us want to do like the Joneses. All of us many of us want to go into extra debt, and causes strain and causes mental pressure on us, and by extension we pass it on to our children, and we have a country where there's a lot of depression and a lot of stress. So as you see about our physical well-being, we must also see about our mental well-being. A lot of the issues we bring upon ourselves are things we can avoid. I tell you, for me, if I had to worry for everything I had to say about me, I'd be crazy. I mean, the amount of things that I've said about me, what I've done, what I haven't done, what I should have done. Sometimes I wonder, who are they speaking about me? But what I deal with is my conscience. I deal with the truth. And when I go to bed, I pray before I go to bed, and I sleep. Get up in the morning, go to the gym, and come to work. Because I know, in the final analysis, the truth will always find its way to the surface. So I want to thank the people who are working in the health sector. I want to tell them that they are just proxies. All the pressure that comes on them is because the pressure has to be directed at us, the politicians. But you're just proxies. So continue doing what you do. I know most of you do a good job. Most of you are doing a good job. There's nothing perfect. There's never been a perfect health service. There will not be a perfect health service. So most of you are doing a good job. So forget about the noise. Forget about the noise. Forget about the demands for explanation. You have your own situation that will tell you how you'll explain what. I'm sure there's not one nurse or one doctor that deliberately wants somebody to suffer or wants somebody to die. I'm sure. I can bet that. There's not one nurse or one doctor or one health aide that will see somebody in the hospital and want them to die. I'm sure of that. So when you are used as proxies, when unfortunately people lose their lives, unfortunately we lose their lives, I don't think we should be callous about it, but I want to tell you, do not cause that to deter you from doing the job that you're doing. Do not cause it to deter you from doing the job that you're doing. Because that is, for the third time, proxies. You are just used to come after us. So continue doing what you're doing. We will put, this year, the resources to the Ministry of Health will be increased. We've heard about the problems as it relates to the OKEU hospital. We've started, and I'm sure when the board of the hospital is ready, very shortly we should begin to construct the fifth wing of the hospital. Because that's what we were told. We were told that there is need for more beds at the OKEU. So we went to our partners and we said, listen to me, the government cannot do anything, everything. The government cannot. So we went to our partners and we said to them, can you assist us in doing the fifth wing? And one of them said yes, give us $400,000 US. Now we had that money for a long time. That check was in my desk for about 2 months. The Minister of Investment, Dr. Hilaire, got the money that was in my desk for about 2 months. But I did not want to deliver it until I was sure that we could continue to start. I did not want to say, here we're going to extend the hospital. I did not have the money to continue it. So right now, I think I have the money. So we gave the check to the OKEU board. And from there, it's going to be only the OKEU board that's going to be involved. Not the government, not the politicians. We're not going to be going there to say, build this, do this, take it out there, employ that person, move that room. We're not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be doing that. All we're going to be doing is we're going to be making the resources available, and we're going to depend on the judgment of the people who know about it. We're going to depend on the judgment of the doctors, the nurses, the engineers, the people who know about it, not us. Our job is to decide the policy, allocate the scarce resources, and you do the work. That is our job. So that is what is going to happen here. We're going to give the resources, and we're going to ensure that the people who work here do what they have to do to make it functional. So I want to thank everybody. Health is not an easy thing. Again, we are given the impression that St. Lucia is the worst place for healthcare. The worst place. Again, hoping that will affect us. It doesn't affect us because our job is a temporary job. Next year, we have to account to the people of St. Lucia. Next year, we have to account to the people. The people of St. Lucia will have their verdict. They will say, you passed or you failed. And it's not going to be one examiner. It's about 50 or 60,000 examiners. That is what people don't seem to understand. That our job evaluation comes from the people of St. Lucia. So when they use us, when you try your best to destabilize a health sector, when you try your best to cause the people of St. Lucia to lose confidence in the doctors and the nurses, when you try your best to go to the hospital and because you know there's a shortage of space, you denigrate what's happening there. You say, look at you, look at where you are, look at where you are. Because you believe that you're going to make political mileage. You're not making political mileage out of it. You're not. Because I am not there. The minister is not there. The people who are there are the people of St. Lucia. So when you go and you cause them to lose confidence in the nurses and the doctors who give the health care, who provide the health care, when by your utterances and your words, you make them believe that when they go to OKEU, the worst will happen to them. When you make them believe that the doctors do not know what they're doing and they're going to lose their life because the doctors do not know what they're doing. When you give them that impression, you do not affect any of us here. You cause the people to lose confidence in the system, and most of them will not be able to afford to go anywhere else for medical care. They have to deal with it right in St. Lucia. So when you try to denigrate it, and when you try to make them believe that our medical professionals do not know what they are doing, because you want to make political mileage, that is bad. There are health issues all over the world. When I was the Minister of Infrastructure, I went to New York with the Prime Minister. There was an issue. We spent 6 hours at the Kings County Hospital, 6 hours. In an emergency care center with the Secret Service and the Prime Minister. 6 hours, 6. We have a little country, a small country. We have a health and security levy that charges 2.5%. This year, it will collect $37 million for health and security. The budget of the Ministry of Health is nearly $200 million. No one has ever said, how are we going to seriously finance healthcare? Now, we are sitting together with the private sector, the public sector, the private sector, and we are looking for a comprehensive way to fund healthcare in this country for universal healthcare coverage. We're not dreaming about it. We're not just one person say you'll have a health card for $100,000. Another one say you have people from Cayman Islands or wherever they come from to deliver our facility. We're not saying that. We're saying we are sitting down in the public view. Everybody can hear what we're saying. It's nothing secret. We are sitting down in the public view. We are saying to everybody, come forward and make your voices heard as to how we're going to finance healthcare in this country. So everybody will know. It's not dealing with any insurance company that nobody knows about or saying these things. It's real things. It's not imagination. It's real. And hopefully, we'll be able to make a preliminary announcement during the budget as to how we finance universal health care in this country. You will know because you're involved. So we're not going to just say things that sound good. So again, I want to tell you that health is a priority, and this is why health is in the theme of our Independence Day celebrations. Health and wellness for a prosperous nation is in the theme for us, because we believe that in this country, we have to ensure that we have the best possible health care with the resources that we have as a country. There'll never be a time when you'll get everything you want. Never be a time. But with the resources that we have, we are trying our best. So I want to thank you. I want to say to the contractor, push. Let's ensure that we can come here very soon to open the facility so the people of St. Lucia can get better health care with the support of the people in the medical fraternity. I thank you very much.